What is happening, crew? Dad, how are you, my brother?
Yeah, we're all good here. Well, finally, yeah.
Mhm.
The struggles of a content provider with the internet. The struggle is real, by the way. Yeah,
And particularly on a boat. If you own a boat, or if you've ever worked on a boat, or if you know anything about boats,
yeah,
your electronics, particularly your wiring, has like a time clock. It's like the show 24, where it's just like doot doot, doot doot, doot doot, and it's just a countdown of when the critical failure will occur.
yeah,
And good luck getting internet service. Just good luck
right.
to you.
It's never if it will fail, it's when.
Uh, It's just when.
Yeah, failure will occur. So,
Happy
yeah,
Sunday, Luke. We got the outdoor boys. We got Alpha One. Alpha One checking into the house. Robert, good to see you. We've got Crawfish Hoofty and of course the secret weapon in the house with us. 13 of us on this October Sunday. Nothing but love for you all. Nothing but love. Man, we were just
yes.
having the best chat. Let's just keep it going, Dad.
Okay.
Um, I was taking down notes on it so we get there. Um, we were just circling the wagons around hope, and um, what we talk about this a lot. We circle the wagons around why we started this channel, and it's because, and we did it. Why we did it together was we both deep down genuinely care about the people around us and their well-being, and that even greater understanding of it for us on a person basis, on a spiritual basis, is also that well-being for yourself. And if you can shed the judgments that you have against yourself or to others, um, then you can be a community builder. You can be somebody that is just excited to listen and to hear from others and to grow and to learn and to get excited and be full of joy. And that's what hope is to me. I got so lucky in this life to just naturally want to love people, and to have the community that we do. And we were talking a lot about my dad's passion in this, which we've all seen, to share and get to a place in this where we're trying to work with all these other tools and advantages now, and that will become our job here in the future. My dad and I working with people like April, so we can make something that can be kind of scary, and kind of confusing, and none of us are taught it in school about trust, into making that something very simple and encouraging and exciting and giving you hope to preserve your financials. Why? So you can unlock your freedom and your time, and you can be more of that hopeful source and light to everyone else around you. And if we can be here and help you all hold on to that, and to you encourage us and us encourage you, and we all encourage each other, I don't see how we're not going to be successful, or how we're not already successful. And I'm so privileged to be in this group with all of you, and with you, Dad. That's how I feel on Sunday. What say you, sir?
Wow. That was moving, Brian. I love that. It was good
Thank you.
stuff. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I
That's
try.
yeah, we'll just record that. We'll play that at the beginning of every video, and we'll just
Yeah,
call that good. Yeah.
I aim to
Love
please.
it. Yeah. So all of the all the, should we say, setbacks in life. You and I were just talking about, the slumping market, or you're not wealthy yet, and how come I'm not rich, and how come everybody else seems to be doing well, and poor old me, and any of all that stuff that kind of happens to us all in the moment. It's never your whole day. It just comes and goes, and it's sort of somewhat fleeting. It's that lower level of energy. It's those moments that you fall into it and go, wow, this crypto thing, and then Mr. Gensler, and it's his fault, and then Janet Yellen, and I need somebody to point the finger at today, and it's not going to be me. All right, it's got to be somebody else to blame here. That is a lifestyle that will get you nowhere. It will get you it will keep you grounded in the muck.
Yeah.
And to get out of it, it's so much more rewarding, because all of a sudden your life successes start to pile up on themselves. And the next thing you know, you're doing this, and then you're doing that. And then you're learning about financial freedom, and you're learning about spiritual freedom and your personal spiritual growth and wealth. And then you grow to this individual that all of a sudden, when good things start happening to you, you expected it. It doesn't overwhelm you. And then it's like, oh, I won the lottery, and I run around like a fool for 3 days. It's like, oh, now I expected that. I got that. I own that. This is who I am now. This is what I believe is going to happen next.
Mm-hmm.
That is a place in life to where it's beyond wealth. It's beyond money, bank account. It's you become that pillar around the people around you, your family. A lot of us in crypto in particular, our family members think that we're just completely out of our minds, and that we really don't even understand economics and finance.
Mm-hmm.
But what is a level, I'm going to call it a level higher about money and finance than they do, because they're believing more in the Ponzi scheme of things. And you and I know that that's really not a reality. It's just that's a sinking ship eventually. I mean, you just can't continually go further and further into debt as any company or human being or a country for that matter.
Right.
But what happens to you is that you become that pillar of strength because of your financial knowledge, but that well-being and that assuredness that you walk in every moment. And they see that you didn't get rich overnight, your number didn't go up, and it doesn't affect you. It doesn't matter, because I own this, and I know what I own, and I know who I am, and I know where I'm going. And it's that success that I was speaking of a minute or two ago. You know what's coming. You don't
Mm-hmm.
have to have their praise or their appreciation of, oh, wow, look at you did so well with that XRP thing. You're so awesome. You didn't need that. When it occurs in your life, you don't care. Like when that happens, you'll already be beyond it. You'll be like, okay, well, you got to see what we're doing next. Look where
Yeah.
we're going now. Like,
Yeah.
look where I've taken this thing. And you become that pillar of strength around people. And then you hit a couple of base hits, and the next thing you know, you're the star on the team, and you are the person that everybody looks to for strength and stability. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
Something Dad was just telling me while we were talking was, I started getting into it here it's getting into the weeds, and we judge others for living in the weeds, and we judge ourselves harshly, and we get down on ourselves, because, oh man, this happened, and this is going on, and oh man, and then you put a lot of focus
mhm,
onto it, changes your mood, right? um
mhm,
but the real win is, and one of your examples was, is that how wealthy business people operate? When something bad happens, they're, oh, panic. No, no. It's a way for me to look at my thing overall and be like, okay, here's where I need to make the fix. But also there can be opportunity that comes from this, from me seeing this trend or what just happened in the market or how it operated and worked with my company. And so getting into the weeds per se, or the perception of good and bad is it's dividing, and to spend your effort and energy and looking at it as bad is not something that I want to do anymore. I think a lot of us learn from crypto. I've seen it happen over the years we've been doing this. I was always kind of this guy because I've never had a ton of money, and so I've been looking to DCA, in each cycle here. And it's like when the price goes down, I'm like pumped. That's opportunity for me, baby. That's time. We got more time on this thing. We're still at the start line of this thing. I'm encouraged. More people are going to learn about this and get in with us. Dude, that's what I've always wanted for crypto.
Yeah.
And the future of it is I want it to positively affect more and more of us and affect us in a bigger way. Not just as an investor. Why I was interested in it in the first place, Dad, is I was inspired by the ideas of how it can cut out the Ponzi scheme and trim the fat, and something like this system can not only does it become our trading tool for our ones and zeros, but it also becomes our honest bookkeeper. And what you cut out, of excess that seems to be unneeded, and not to judge it too harshly, like call it bad weeds, but it's like sometimes you got to go trim the weeds so you can see your lake, and so I'm still encouraged to see it go there, and be that. And I think no matter what we talk about or what we say, I think we all know it's going to be that. It's going to be huge.
Right now, Bitcoin's really the only one moving, but a lot of people don't understand the dynamics of that. And that's so important because you want Bitcoin to move, and it is moving. And if it breaks 70, that's huge for anybody that owns XRP or any other coin, because all you can do at this point is continue to stack DCA, because what you want is coming. We all know that.
Mm-hmm.
Proof is really right now in the Bitcoin movement. You can't have the amount of corporations and massive banking institutions that are purchasing these ETFs and other products. And I don't know if you noticed what the SEC just passed last week, which was basically options are coming. Options trading are coming, and they're going to run the whole thing through the Bank of New York Mellon and so all the big players are getting in, right? Mm-hmm. Well, that is making Bitcoin go up. But as we know, once Bitcoin really has that pump moment, then it spreads down to all the altcoins. And so thankfully we have a window here to DC further, because it's coming, because you see what happens to Bitcoin. Yep. I mean, you're just the tail on this,
It's always been the bat signal. It's always been the bat signal.
It's telling you. Now, it might bounce off 70, the 69 or whatever. It could go back down and go on a trough again for a while. You know that to be true. But if it breaks the 70 moment here soon, we're at that 150-day, 200-day we're coming up on after every halving. It takes off after 150 days. We're right there. And it's the fall, and it's the election, and all those happy things that we talk about all the time. But as an XRP person, it gives you that knowledge. Okay, I'm watching the leader. I'm watching the leaderboard. I hope I have enough coins. I hope I'm set.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go back to what a few people in the comments have said here. I have a strategy that I'm working on for the trusts, and I noticed that Atlantic Living and Secret Weapon, I know both of they are both in Canada. I know those two are for sure. I believe it. Yeah, I believe it. I believe they both are. But anybody who's overseas, I have a concept and an idea that I'm working with April on this. Okay. This is really big, guys. This is something that all of you should still watch Thursday nights for this reason. You don't have to be an American citizen. You have to own an American business. And that can even be as something simple as an LLC. You can open up an LLC and you can say that I'm Mr. Crypto Guy and my company and my business and my assets are crypto investment, Alan's Crypto Investment Company, LLC. And as long as you transfer your money, crypto, from your wallet, which you're not going to transfer or you're not going to sell it, you're going to sell it only to your trust. This is the angle I'm working on. So those of you overseas, don't lose faith in the fact that this U.S. American trust could not work for you, because April sort of mentioned a little bit about it last week after we got off the live stream. She and I had a lengthy conversation about exactly that subject, and I bounced a couple of ideas off on her, and she was like, "Wow, okay, let me look into this and this and that." So she and I are going to work on getting that going forward. Okay. That was something I just wanted to say because I saw Atlantic Living actually asked about that.
Awesome.
And because listen to the criminality of this. Canada is 64% capital gains tax.
What?
So, yeah, every $100,000 of crypto that you sell, you owe Trudeau 64 grand. That's unacceptable. I don't care what they're doing with the money. If they're feeding babies with it, okay, that's ridiculous to somebody in you and I's financial situation.
Yeah.
That's absurd. Yeah. So that has to be remedied. You and I are smarter than that.
Yeah.
Secret Weapon, you are smarter than that, dude. We are not going to allow you to pay 64%. So we're going to figure that out. So stay with me, guys, okay?
I'm gonna respond to a few, Dad. Also to Atlantic. You're never bugging me, brother. Ever. You're never bugging me.
Never.
Yes. Vegas content. Yes. We know it's a little removed from May. That this is all coming out. But I appreciate you always mentioning it. So we sent it all off to Ron and his editor. I didn't love the edits that I did. And Dad and I were mailing and bouncing back and forth video cards, and it's just not the way to do it. It's the way to do it to honor the amazing interviews that everybody gave, and how we're going to do it in the future is find a much better editor than my dad and I are, and have it be this awesome quality that the crew and their friends and family can have for a long time and be stoked about.
Yeah.
And that be a really finished, beautiful product. And yeah, we sent them off, and we're so excited to get them back, and we'll post them as we get them.
And I have actually gotten a few of them back, and they're great. So I'm really excited about what we're going to do with these. Yeah.
Yes.
But the other thing is we're on 5 shows a week now, and it's like, where do I put it? Where do I put this thing?
Right.
You know, there's that too. So yeah. What do we have here?
It's so good to see you all.
Yeah.
Solar
That is
Sam,
great.
what up? Cheat Town. Let's go. Frankie, what up?
Yeah. Joanna's
Much
in.
love and hugs, Joanna.
So let me get into what I've been is sort of been on my mind lately about this whole situation. We're in the middle of this in the US anyway, this election process. Thankfully, it only has weeks left. I hope. Who knows what drama comes after that?
Yeah.
It's gonna either way, it's gonna be drama. So
Oh, yeah.
but I don't want to talk about election, but I do want to say that typically after almost all US presidential elections, there is a massive increase in markets in liquidity, no matter which party wins. Typically, I had a great little three-way conversation with somebody last week. They know who they are. And they're not in this chat usually, but they're on Thursday night shows. They had a great point, and they work at a clearinghouse for a trading institution, traditional stocks trading. And they said to me, our volume is down, stock profits are flat, and our stock market's going up. People are losing their jobs, the economy is in decline, and the stock market's going up. Liquidity's coming back to the market, but it's only going into the stocks. This is a person that follows the market for a living, 40 hours a week. And those were their observations. Now, who does that sound like? It sounds like everybody in this chat. We've been telling everybody that for years now. Like the whole thing is propped up.
Yeah.
But it has to be propped up because everybody's 401ks and everybody's IRAs are all committed to this thing. Okay, this stock market, US stock market. Many foreign nations in the same boat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Their citizens are linked to it because these are global companies. You know, people want to buy Apple stock. It doesn't matter where you live in the world. This point that he made me think of this concept. And the concept goes like this. It doesn't matter what they do to the stock market. People aren't going to invest in it. And what I mean by that is this. What's happening right now, people, the Joe public, our loved ones do not understand crypto, and we get that. This next bull market is going to bring the public in a manner that we've never seen in crypto market before. How do I know that? Because they're not going to buy stock. They're not buying 401ks. Their companies are forcing them to do that. They're not buying any of those stocks. Stocks are going nowhere but up, and nobody's buying them. That's from an inside trader telling us that. Well, are people buying real estate? No. Are people buying cars? No. Are they buying anything right now? No. Are they buying gold? Yep. Are they buying crypto? Kinda. I mean, it's going up a bit. Institutional money is getting involved in crypto. They're involved in crypto. You're the public, Joe public is the last one to come in. So what all of that tells me is this. We're at the bottom point. We're at the lowest point. Anybody that owns coins that haven't sold them yet aren't going to sell them in the next 6 months. There's not. They've capitulated everybody already out of the market who had lettuce hands, if you will. They're out. The people who are in crypto now are DCAing in because they know what's coming.
Mm-hmm.
There aren't any new people to the crypto market, not many, and they know that. So now they're gearing up and they're ramping up to sell these products, which is exactly what I asked the Wall Street guy. What products are you listing? He's the one that told me, he confirmed that they're looking at the options market. When you understand what the options market brings, it's going to bring anywhere between $3 to $5 trillion of volume. Let that sink in.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to go from 2 trillion, 1.5 to 2 trillion to 5 trillion.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's coming. They're gearing that product up now. This is the important part. What corporations do with options is they secure their downside risks. And I don't want to get into options trading, but essentially, many of you already know this. What they know is, okay, if I buy a bunch of ETFs or I buy a bunch of Bitcoin itself, they're not going to buy they're not educated enough to buy a wallet with it. They're not doing that. They are traditionalist stock market people. Okay. Traditional markets. TradFi is who they are. They're not going to change that anytime soon. So what are they going to do with those products? They're going to say, well, I want an exposure to Bitcoin initially and Ethereum. And it'll trickle down to XRP. I want this exposure to the market, but I want downside risk to be eliminated. How do I nullify downside risk? That's called hedging. And all of these people are waiting for their ability to get in so they can hedge their trades. In other words, if it goes short and goes down, and that volatility that crypto has, they're okay. They're not going to lose their money because they're going to have covered calls. What they're called is covered calls. I don't want to get into stocks or options trading right now, but you get the point. Mm-hmm. That is coming to a market near you. That's going to happen before Joe Public, because these guys want to make all the quick, fast, early part of this trade. They're going to take the trade from, we'll just call it $70,000 to $140,000 with these options trading, with this institutional options trading, with no downside risk. Why do they know there's no downside risk? Because they know as soon as the thing starts going up to $75,000, $80,000 and making new high, who's going to come in? Joe Public. When's Joe Public going to come in late? They're going to come in late, obviously, around somewhere around 120,000 to 140,000. That's when Joe Public's going to get in. What is that for the options trader institutional money? That's called an exit strategy. They're going to dump it on the Joe Public coming in one more time, because Joe Public gets in late, always. Not sometimes, always. And they know that because where I started that conversation was everybody who's going to sell their coins already sold. And the rest of us are hanging on tight. So they know where bottom is. We've already had that. Anyway, that's my big picture of what I learned from Wall Street this week and where I think where their 6-month goal plan is for what they're going to do, trying to achieve. Hope that all made sense to everybody. I tried to explain it slowly and as concise as it came to me.
That makes sense, Chad. Some of the comments coming in too is, what do you see with that as far as you kind of talked about it with potential shorts? When Joe Public does get in at the 11th hour, it's usually when it's coming right back down. So in terms of shorting or a potential crash or anything like that, do you have any crystal balls on any of that?
This whole process depends on how quickly you get to 125,000. I wouldn't start shorting at 120. When I say 125,000, we know I'm talking about Bitcoin. I wouldn't start shorting at 125,000 because I think only a fool and his brother would ever short Bitcoin. I just wouldn't. Whatever your position, you got to remember, by the time Bitcoin breaks 90, XRP is going to be flying, absolutely flying. Cardano, everything that everybody else has is going to be your exit strategies. for that, you're going to have to stay tuned and show up on Thursday nights, because that's what we're a shameless plug. Thursday nights, when April's not on, we're going to talk more exit strategy and how to get out, why you get out, when you would get out, and what your possible, whatever resonates with you, because I'm going to have a bunch of different theories on how to get out. I don't like to short something that the entire world is about to adopt. It's just a bad call, in my opinion.
Yeah. And something you explained to me really well this morning, and what I'm gathering from April and Nexus and understanding it is, it's got to be tailor-made, to each of you. And that's what they do. We're all coming in with different assets, different forms, different types of wealth. And that's just going to have to be person to person, like, work through. And we all understand at different times and different levels. And like, we're getting to the point now, Dad, like, understanding it more and more and more. It's like, how do we make it more and more simple?
That's right. Yeah.
Be able to encourage people to be like, dude, not only am I going to save huge on potentially this next year or two in taxes, but every year after that. It's incredibly encouraging. I'm so thankful that we ended up with April. I'm like so thankful. I haven't even seen the second trust video yet. I too, somebody said it in here, like, love the trust videos. That was Chi-Town. I love the first one so much, and what we've discussed. I'm just really glad we're going in that direction, to be able to just encourage everybody to help you make your own plan, and
Yeah.
we're not going to know the timing of this down to the gnat's rear. None of us are. But it's like, how can we formulate patterns and look at like possible outcomes, to where it's like, okay, we can do well in this cycle. And like how you explain that in what's coming with big institutional money. I'm so glad that you really look deep into that stuff, Dad, for all of us.
Thanks. It's just, well, as you know from knowing me your whole life, it's just sort of how my mind works. It's one of those things that sometimes I get it right, and most of the times not. But the times I do get it right, I take a lot of credit for it. So we got that to look forward to. But
Alice,
I'll be the first to tell you how great I am. But yeah. So we'll, but Frankie has a great question here. Alan, and I love when people spell my name right. It's like, dude, it's been here before. Love that.
You're the one.
Gosh, wow. Somebody actually knows. So, Alan, do you think that altcoin season starts at BTC dominance at 60%? That's a great question, but it leads me to a different answer, as my mind works that way. I hear a lot lately about people telling me about Bitcoin dominance and this and that. Bitcoin dominance is up. It's way up. And people keep telling me, no, it's not really, Alan. It's not up all that much. It's way, way, way bigger than 59%. And that's currently what it sits at right now, 59%. Well, how do I know that? I know that because when I first got into crypto, I think there was 50 coins, 150 coins max.
Yeah.
Now there's 2 million. Do you understand? It's 59% of 2 million now. That, like, the pool got massive and it still kept 60%. That's going up, in my opinion. That's how math lies to you a lot.
Yeah. The whale's getting bigger. There's just more minnows.
Right. Exactly. So dominance is really one of those shady numbers that I don't put a lot of I don't put too much credibility in it, but it is the talk recently, and I understand it. I would say I'd go more along the lines of what I was talking about. When you see Bitcoin break all-time highs, so what is that? 75 grand, right? When Bitcoin hits 75 grand, it's going to take off because of institutional money. It's going to say, here we go. We're ready now. Let's do this thing. Let her buck. They're going to, because I personally think this whole lull that comes after the halving is really about two things. It's a lot of people that thought during the halving it was going to go up and it didn't. And then I think it's also about they're able to control it a little bit better because there's less coins out there in the market when it happens, right? So when that's the case, you get a little easier control because there's fewer coins each day. But the demand for those coins goes up exponentially to a point where they can't stop it or control it, if you will, or slow it down. I don't know if you guys saw this last week. Bitcoin went up in 5 minutes time. It shot up and it was headed right for 70. And then it dropped 3,000 points, $3,000 in like that. And you could see it on a chart. And I was like, well, somebody who shorted that? Somebody sold a lot of Bitcoin in one trade. Well, who even has the capability of doing that? Coinbase? No. Like they could, but there's five other exchanges. Was it a bot? Maybe, but I don't think bots have that many coins. I could be wrong. Somebody dumped an awful lot of Bitcoin overnight. So the only people that have those are Mt. Gox. Well, they didn't even have much left. U.S. government has a bunch of them. And we already know. Yeah.
Germany had that big sale.
Yeah. Yeah, they sold 50,000 of them or whatever it was in 3 days on the retail market. That kind of stuff is going to happen less and less going forward. It just has to. There's no way for it to. Yeah, you can't do that. So I don't think I answered Frankie's question in true Alan fashion, but when it hits the retail price of a new all-time high, and then I would say somewhere around, typically a bull market is 3x for Bitcoin. So whatever that is, that's what is that? It's 70,000. You're looking at 100 or 210, 210 a coin. Holy moly's! You should see right around, like I said earlier, about 80 to 90,000. The altcoins should start taking off. But again, I'm wrong a lot. Most of the time. Yeah.
We all are. We'll work through it.
Yeah. Crypto professor.
68.5.
Yeah, we got the professor.
Welcome in.
Truly one of the great human beings that I have met personally is Crypto Professor. He's I've met so many great people, but I actually got to spend some time with him and I don't know 6 or 8 other people. And what I know about the people that are in this group, because I must have talked to 5, 6 people yesterday on the phone, and many of them are in this chat. The incredible human beings, like every single one of them to a T. Like, I don't get, and I'm not trying to say anything about young people or anything like that. I'm not trying to say that, but I don't get some argumentative person who just watched a YouTube channel tell me exactly the opposite of what I said, and he's trying to prove me wrong about you're an idiot and this other guy knows everything. I don't ever get those kind of people, ever. It's such a blessing to have the group that we have, and I just love you all, and I know you guys all know that, but it bears repeat daily. I don't, we're all in this together, and it's such a great space. I'm so happy to be part of it. Yeah.
I am too. Speaking of, we got our brother Theo in the house. We got Johnny G. Oh, let's just, speaking of Johnnies of the world, I've only seen a portion of this because Sean is like, bro, you have to see this. The one person, the one speaker that I had to go see at XRP Vegas that I think my dad and I had to cut away and make some time was John Deaton.
Yes.
And I hear Johnny D pretty much made her soil her diaper in that last speech. And I've tuned out so much of the news and media, particularly in this time of the year of every 4-year cycle, that so I could stay 40,000. I will be watching that, and I do really appreciate what John is trying to do, and the kind of way that he speaks, and the kind of life that he's had, and just his candor. It's those kind of people that actually make me, for instances, still believe in political systems. Because you all know about me, I'd have the people run it tomorrow. I think a republic is what this country really needed to continue to be for the whole world. And we got a long way away from that. And so to have people like that is really cool.
I don't understand what her people were thinking, even allowing her to debate a man like John Deaton. Like, that's like children, playing with matches. I really did. That was going to burn her house down. As soon as I heard they were going to do it, I said to myself, and she agreed to that? And then I thought, okay, well, they'll rig it somehow to where it's completely in her favor, and they'll make him not be able to answer anything. And somebody sent me the link, and I think it was Becky sent me the link, and I didn't even watch it. I was like, you know what, man? I know he destroyed her. I'm just like, I've met the man, I've talked to the man, I've listened to the man a couple of times. And every time I do, I'm like, how is everything his life has been is what politics should be. People coming from the streets, coming from nothing, making something of himself. This is exactly the sales pitch, if you will, that America is. And she's the exact opposite of that. Like, how is she going to compete with that? I just thought to myself, man, her people, that's how arrogant politicians become. They think, oh, well, I'm just going to go in there and knock it out of the park. I don't care who this guy is. I'm important. Mm-hmm. And then they just get, laced, and they don't even see it coming, But
that lack of humility, to come in and just, well, it doesn't matter if they do better than me or not. What are they going to do about it? It's Is that teamwork? Is that community building? Is that who should be running states and nations? I need humble and honest, and I need people who see the advantages and opportunities in the weeds. That's who I need.
Yeah.
Nobody else.
Well, I would actually believe in politics again if those of you who can remember what a phone book is, there's no other way for me to quite explain it. My idea is that we randomly pick people out of the phone book who are between the age of 20 and 70, and that becomes your government. And we do that every 4 years. You have to quit your job. You have to leave your job unless you have a really good excuse, sort of like jury duty. And we randomly pick these folks, and then every issue that comes up, they get to vote on it. we would turn this country around in a matter of a year. We would
Yeah.
slowly start spending money on what is really important to the people.
And I think you compensate them to the point where they don't get bought. You know, you don't do the insider trading. You don't let the lobbyists sway you. You don't let you incentivize them in ways to thwart that. It's you could change it real quick. You could change it real quick.
Yes, you can. Yeah. Yeah, Zippy. I was looking at Zip's comment there. Yeah, I did notice that they were tokenizing insurance policies. Yeah. And Simon and I were talking about that, I don't know, a year ago, about like, hey, that's a product that needs to be tokenized from right there. Yeah. Because one of the best things that blockchain and decentralization can do for mankind, in my opinion, is charity, number one. But number two, tokenizing the ownership of things. But the best and most efficient way to run an insurance company would be with DeFi. Like, let me explain myself. If we had everybody who owns XRP coins, and we all said, okay, our coins are going to be in a pool, or we're going to pay monthly. Everybody owns those coins, those 50,000 people or whatever we are now, 60, 70,000 people in America or something, whatever we are. And all of us, as soon as one of us gets in an accident, we pay for their fixing the car.
Yeah.
But you only pay how many claims there were each month. That's decentralization. You don't have Geico being a profit company. You have 50,000 people in a pool, and we all just repair whatever breaks, right? So your premium, your monthly insurance premium would just decline annually. It would go in free fall the first 6 months, because you and I are just trying to, okay, well, I just want to pay my premium, whatever that is. If 50,000 people put in $50, a year or whatever it would be stupid money. But anyway.
And you and me and Al would be the ones benefiting from that mutual fund.
That's right.
Hello.
And then that pool of money would grow to the point where simply the DeFi income from it would pay everybody's damages. It would get to the point where it would perpetuate itself through staking or AMMs or DEXs or whatever it might be. It would actually pay for itself. And then eventually you wouldn't even have to pay a premium.
Pay for itself.
It would completely pay for itself. Yeah, there you go.
I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Welcome in, legend. There's my investigator.
Yeah.
Sean the legend. The dolphins are faring well.
Yeah. And nobody sports sideburns like the legend.
No one.
Nobody. Yeah.
No one.
He just owns it.
Yeah.
And yeah.
My favorite mullet of all time. All time.
Favorite
Not
mullet.
Better than anyone I've seen on screen, but
yeah.
It just the whole package works on the dude.
It's perfect.
Boom.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And when you put sideburns and a mullet together with a red velvet suit jacket, there's no touching that. Like, you are, like, undoubtedly you've taken the XRP Vegas show to a whole new level of wardrobe that nobody can compete with. Nobody.
And when I'm in the pool, drinking my brewski and you feel that I'm interrupting your black tie affair, sorry, but really not sorry at all.
No,
Just having a
no,
really good time.
yeah, yeah,
And yeah, that's
because
why I love my brother, man.
yeah, because he
Yeah.
didn't do it for humor. He did
No.
it because he looked in the mirror and went, "Yeah, that's it. That nailed it." And he owns it. Love that. You got to
Yeah.
love that about a human being. Yeah.
Yep.
I personally don't really have the stones for it, but you know, it takes a bigger man than I am. But
Mhm.
you know, I get it. I get it.
I do,
It's
Sean. I'm a beach rat too, bro. I took a mental health day there yesterday. I'll join you in the pool, dude. Anytime.
yes, yeah, for sure. So, any of you who know Sean, and by the way, he's got the brains to back it up, and he
Oh
has
yeah.
the crypto knowledge to wear the jacket. So, what are you going to do? Yeah, you're in jail after that. Like you're going to walk up, and you think you're just going to, you know, outwit this guy, and he just laughs at you, like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, go play somewhere else. Yeah, it's good.
I just
Good.
try to play tennis with him in those
Yeah, right.
conversations because it's like, dude, can I help him think of something more? Can I help him dig up some clues? And
Yeah,
then he's teaching me, you know,
yeah.
everything
And
about
he's
everything he's dug up. And we're
it's
lucky to
it's
have the legend, that's for sure.
right. When you meet people in the XRP family in Las Vegas, you realize that we got it all.
Yeah.
We have everything we need. We've nailed it.
Yep.
We
Full
got
crew.
this. Yeah.
Yeah.
So not if, when we all become ridiculously well to do, we're going to have a lot of fun, obviously, together.
Oh
But
yeah.
more importantly, we're going to have enough character in the room and enough people in a room with class and dignity. By the way, that is class and dignity. That is exactly what that man represents. And we own the room. That's when I went there, I didn't see anybody in the room go, oh, well, I don't belong here and this is over my head and I don't really get why I'm doing. No, everybody there was like family. We are, that's what you call us. We're XRP family. We're not an army, we're a family. And it was awesome. And anybody that hasn't gone, that it can afford to go, you must go. You must go.
Please
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Please go. I want you in my life.
But we do have an announcement about something we did last year that we didn't do a very good job of. And in fact, we did a terrible job. Let's just call it what it is. I get a lot of things
Sure.
wrong. A lot of things wrong. Yeah. But we have a couple of little plans about what we're going to do this year's show. And I'm just going to put it out there that if we can pull this thing off, you're not going to need to attend the show because the show is going to come to you to some degree. Okay. And we're going to be working with virtually all the XRP crypto people, content providers, and other people to bring a show to you explaining the experience of Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. We did it in this really cool, beautiful way, and can't wait to share those videos with you, right? With those interviews. But yes, it's that interactive thing. And we're essentially every Sunday, all of us together right now are hanging out at the hotel together having conversations. Like I'm listening to my dad and I'm constantly just reading what you're all saying. And um to have that interactive quality, that live quality, and bring it inside the seminar could be
Yeah.
really, really cool.
Uh-huh.
Really.
And I
So
have
something
spoken with
along those
Mr. Brad.
lines.
I have spoken with Mr. Brad Kimes about it, and he absolutely loves the idea. So I don't see why that's not going to happen.
Yes.
I'm really excited about this, guys. This could be a lot of fun. Yeah. Because I didn't want to step on his toes because it's his show. You know what I mean? It's like, whoa, this is his gig. So wait a minute. What am I going to be able to do here? So I called him up as soon as I had a game plan, kind of on paper, some notes, and really ran it through my head. I was like, and he's not in the forum here, but Mr. Ron Wood will help us produce it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And we will be doing live feeds from the show if all works out well. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, Peter Lynn's in the house. Welcome, brother.
I love you, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
The last conversation I had with Pete, well, we were talking about Caspa together. He was asking me about Caspa. And if you're in here, Sith Lord, rock the Caspa, rock the Caspa.
Love it.
We I just like I haven't purchased it, haven't used it, but I've studied it and I've studied what they're doing, and how they want to incorporate people into it, and I love it. And I think there's some advantages, like you told me about the Noster one, Dad, and there's just cool stuff. You know, when you really dig into your favorite little, everybody's got their favorite little projects. I see why everybody loves Caspa. But the last conversation when he was in my hometown was about Pete potentially starting his own channel, and I just want to re-emphasize that if any of you ever want to do that, we will be here to encourage you and to help you and to work for you for free, to help you build your community and share your calling and share that music that's inside of you. We will encourage you and support you and shout you out on here. You know, we've really tried to do that for you know, Simon Says Crypto and Dipito Crypto and Money Paradise and Ghost Money, and that's, we know there's going to be more and more of you that are excited about doing that. And I will always be available for you to help you do that. Starting this channel was one of my favorite things that I've ever done. It's still the gift that keeps on giving. So you will be greatly encouraged in that. So I want to send that to Pete. Send that love out to you, brother. I loved your ideas, by the way, for it. So keep going. Keep going on it, bro. Keep going on it.
We have a great question here. Why is XRP so good? First of all, that would be a 2-hour show. That would be 2 hours from now to explain it to you. But the biggest thing for me has been not just all the research, not just the community, not just the speed of the coin. None of that really matters to me. The speed of the coin, I keep hearing people try, oh, it's so fast. That doesn't mean anything. I'm serious. That doesn't mean anything, because technology will always make something faster. What really matters about XRP that most people who don't own it or don't follow it don't understand is there's absolutely no other coin, and I'm even going to put Bitcoin in this, that has bigger fundamental value. In other words, institutionally, banking, transactionally, those three categories, there's nobody who comes close. No one. Nobody's even in the 10 percentile of the 100% value of fundamental behind the scenes, the way the system's going to work. It's essentially the HTTP of future transactional banking. It's that fundamental layer that you're not even going to know that you're using, but all the banks are going to know what they're using. And all the people that own XRP are going to be sitting back enjoying the ride because they listen to great channels, better channels than this one, teach them the fundamental value of what it's going to change going forward. That's the biggest difference. And I keep hearing people compare it to other coins, and it's like, you're missing the boat. If you just look at the staff, just do a headhunt checkout one day and just look who is on the top 10 players in Ripple and look at their credentials. It will blow your mind. Some of these people are the most important business people on the planet. On the planet, I said.
Yeah.
You don't. Anyway, there's reasons why people from the financial institution work for Ripple. There's reasons why the SEC keeps slapping them around. Those are fundamental basics that you can't deny. You can't deny any of that. Now, do I think it's going to go to a $5,000, $10,000 like a lot of people have a lot of hopium and think one day, maybe, I don't know. But I know this, it's going to go from 50 cents to $15 one day like that. I do know that. And then to 150. I mean, I don't know where it's going to stop. But it's not going to go from 50 cents to 25 cents. Not over a period of the next couple of years. I mean, sure, it could have dips or whatever, bad times in the market or something like that. What I'm talking about is value to mankind. 50 cents is the bottom. And it's value fundamentally going forward. Hope that answered your question.
Yeah, mine will be real fast. Why is XRP so good? You're buying ownership of digital banking railroads in the very beginning of there being digital banking railroads. It's just getting started. And to your point, Stad, the characters and the players and the nations that are getting involved, not to mention the banks and institutions, huge, supersonic. To your point, Jack, boom. I don't see how there can be another outcome for it.
Yeah. I think I was listening to Brad's show. Was it Brad? Anyway, he and I were talking. Was it? I can't remember. Anyway, I can't remember who told me this, and I don't remember the lady's name. But there's a lady that works for Ripple, and she was voted the most important lady in the world, in the business world, twice. She works for Ripple.
Yeah.
She's on their payroll. Like, name me another coin with credentials like that, or Rosie Rios, or Rosie Rios' name is on the $100 bill. She works for Ripple. Like, when you start to see, it's like whether or not you believe those are good credentials or not, it's inarguable. You can't deny its future one day value because of that. Yeah. That's her name. Sheila. That's correct. Yeah. She was head of the FDIC. That's correct. Yeah. And why is she working for the Ripple? Head of the FDIC. Because she's bored? Maybe. Maybe that's probably it. I don't know.
Probably because they're going to use it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sean, there's a party foul. He spelled my name wrong. Dude. What is that?
It's ALICE. Okay.
Yeah.
So everybody knows.
Alien.
Especially when he's playing golf or putting in
Yeah.
particular.
Yeah. Yes.
Still a better
I've been
golfer
called.
than I am 30 years later. Still.
I don't know about that, but occasionally I hit it straight. But
Yeah.
occasionally. I haven't hit a ball in so long now. I started this thing called YouTube channel, and then my life went down a bottle. It's just gone, just a
Yeah.
hole in the ground. But I love it. I wouldn't change a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm walking on the beach. Hopefully you have a drink in your hand and a Harley hasn't run you over lately,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
yeah, I know that his town is full of Harleys right now.
He was telling me about a wedding that took place like outside near his residence, and it just sounded like, you know, Asian woman marries Harley dude, and it officiated by Elvis. Is just the what's just, sounded wild. Um,
Uh,
yeah, my comment was tradition, tradition. And Sean said that's been going on in Daytona for 75 years.
wow.
I was like, no wonder, all the motorheads, of course, went there. Car people, motorcycle people, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah. There's
Uh,
a what
Slave in the house. What's up,
slave
brother?
brother. What do you know? He was lurking the whole time.
That's
Um,
no.
the By the way, the HBO documentary, when somebody did a little 10-minute thing on it, and I was like, yeah, whatever. Yeah. More speculation. Like, oh no, he died. This one died, and this one is this guy, and this guy over here, and he was the last guy to post. It's like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Who's the guy who invented the internet? Let me tell you the things that really annoys me, that people, when they talk about crypto or they talk about Bitcoin, they talk about, any form of it. The military's been using crypto, if you will, 50 years, more than that. There was 30 to 40 attempts to make money out of cryptography prior to Bitcoin. It's just the one that got adopted. Is the man behind it? Probably. I don't know. Man was probably behind the other 30 too. But why did those fail? I mean, it failed. They failed because they didn't have timing right. They didn't have backing right. And they didn't have the double spend figured out. Right? They didn't have that figured out. Well,
Right.
let's look at everything in the world. Name me one thing in the whole world that is scarce. Like anything that you can invest in, name me one thing. Or is finite. Name me one thing in the world that's finite. And I know the Mona Lisa. Yeah, I know Mount Everest. Okay, I got all that. What I'm talking about is something you can buy. Name something that you can't duplicate or make more of or incentivize somebody to go get more of it, like gold. There isn't anything, right? XRP comes to mind. I know 100 billion of them sounds like a lot of them, but you can't make any more of them. Can't make any more Bitcoin. Can't make any more Litecoin. Can't make most of these coins, right? And that's something the world has never had to deal with. But most importantly, the financial world has never had to deal with that. What the financial world likes to do is say, look, we got this beautiful little thing called Apple stock. And now you got 50 of them. Great. That's awesome. Look how lucky you are. Well, now we're going to make 1 million more of them next year and then not tell you. And then the next year. And then next year. You know how easy it is to make an Apple stock share? A keypad.
Yeah.
Click.
Too easy.
Now, I know they say they have to raise bond money to support it, to create it. Not accurate. I know that's what they tell everybody on the boob tube. That's not accurate. They just print them out of thin air, just like fiat money globally. So when Wall Street or people or investors finally wrap their mind around the actual word finite, they're in for a rude awakening, very rude awakening, because they'll be late. Yeah, because people,
we can't duplicate this.
Yeah, that's when you'll see what's called exponential growth. You'll have people who are wealthy people saying, "What do you mean I can't own any of that?" Well, yes, I can. Just print more money to make sure I can. What does that do to the price? What does that do to the value? Yeah, it goes ballistic. Goes ballistic. That's where we're headed, kids. I know that's not news to anybody, but most people don't really wrap their head around that. They don't, I'll just buy gold. 1/11/11 it was. So sorry, you guys can't see that. That's the recording time. A lot of people tell me that about gold. Oh no, gold's finite. No, actually, we haven't even started to mine the ocean yet.
Right.
They're gonna mine other planets. They're gonna look, if it's expensive enough, they'll find it. They'll find more of it, a lot more of it. Yeah. So anyway, I don't know how I got started on that ramble, but
Dad, the McNarly writes, excellent name, by the way.
yes.
Hey, Aline and son, been watching y'all for a few years. Keep calm and carry on. Is that Yarly? Is that you, Yarly?
McNarly?
Because that'd be great. Whoever you are, you're great.
McGarley.
McGarley.
Love it.
I threw it in there. I went McNarly with it.
Yeah. Gnarly's cool. That was probably taken.
All right.
What are my thoughts on Quant? I don't own enough of it.
Yeah, same.
That's I don't own enough of that. You can't own them all, guys. That's the problem. But I love Quant. Love it. Yeah.
I want to continue to educate myself on how robust its system is.
Yes.
I want to understand its network inside and out. That's what I think about with Quant.
Right.
The future of connecting this and computing and Brad McNarly house. Exactly.
The one thing that comes to mind every time I hear about and I'm going to call Quant. I'm going to insult a lot of people here. I'm going to call Quant a second tier coin.
What?
I know it's going to be a first tier coin. It's not now.
Right.
And there's so much about what you know about Quant, what I know about Stronghold, what I know about XDC, what I know about other coins that Johnny Joe Public is a decade away from knowing. That's the problem, guys. That's our big problem here. It's not got anything to do with the technology. It's not got anything to do with the speed. It just doesn't have that. It's like, it's sort of like Huawei phones, right? I think I told this story, but I played around with a Huawei phone the other day. Well, not the other day, about 6 weeks ago, whatever it was. I go, dude, can I check this phone out, man? I just played with it for like 5 minutes. It's the best phone on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not even close. He was showing me things it did, and it just made, and I have a Samsung 23. I mean, it's not an old phone, obviously. There's only a 24 out, but the 24 is basically the 23. This was a whole different format. Speed wasn't even the word for it. It was insane what this phone was doing. And I was like, man, we can't even buy those here. Well, there's no demand for them here.
Yeah.
Everybody wants an Apple, and it's like, well, okay. But Apple, I'm not kidding you, is 5 years behind that phone. At least 5 years. From when I had in my hand, I was like, I didn't even know phones could do that, dude. He's like, yeah, it's crazy, right?
I
Yeah.
want the cheap, efficient ones in the future. That's what I'm looking at.
The what?
Yeah, Zip, Flare, have not used it, have researched it, and I loved it. I loved its connectivity and relationship with the XRP ledger, how they designed their processes through that, and creating money market and the stabilization of that moment to moment. I think Flare is huge, huge. That's
Flare
another one.
for
Like we've all just listed in the last couple of minutes some really great projects and
yeah,
stuff that I just want to keep trying to understand and learn about and get excited about and try to give them some attention and fuel and use them. I for sure will be looking into Flare to use it and to own it.
yep, yeah. It's going to be one of those coins or that residual income is what Flare is going to be great at. I think
Mhm.
one of many. There's dozens of them. It's crazy how many. Yeah, yeah,
Jetpack,
yeah. Jetpack in the house.
jetpack. Joanna had a cool one for us. Research Exodus.io. Inside this wallet, you can earn what Exodus calls rewards, and I call staking. You earn residual income like a money market mentality. Always looking for the gold nuggets. Thank you, Joanna.
E5. Yep,
Love it. Love it.
yep. We're right there. We are. All we need for residual income for you and I is this next bull market, and then we need the coins to level off. In other words, if you can get your XTC to sit around 50 cents and stay there, if you can get your XRP to shoot up to $20, then you're going to be able to live on it. You know what I mean? But it has to shoot up at least that high and stay there. Because when you're going to run these AMMs, you're going to need a higher retail price than what we currently have. Sure, you can make some money and it's this, but you're putting your coins at risk on some of these platforms, not all of them, but some of these platforms, you're putting your coins at risk for what? Nothing, right?
Mhm.
Why would you do that? You don't want to do that. You want to put your coins at risk when it's actually going to be able to at least make you a monthly income that will change your life. We're just not there yet. Yeah, we're
Mhm.
getting there, but we're not there yet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is. I'm glad you explained that to me. A year or so ago. It's the tricky, trappy part of staking. What my
Yeah.
dad's explaining.
Yeah.
Uh, Depending on what situation you're in, how much coin you got, all of that. You want to have the control over it.
Yeah.
Um. Oh, what do we just have in here? Let's see.
Everybody's going off about Quant. Yeah. No, Quant's
Yeah,
I need more of it.
make
That's what I
gnarly.
need.
Yeah, ISO compatible. Yeah, yeah. I like that. I like me some of that. Um, Dad shoot Sean a bell. Sean is designing his rocket housing and his escape hatch
Nice.
currently,
Yeah.
and bravo, brother. So shoot our boy a call if you get a chance.
Now, is that real world or is that with the help and aid of psychedelics? rocket shooting. Is that?
Uh-huh.
Is
Oh,
he?
it's full blown.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's full blown. It's just a bag of XRP lit on fire, and it's just pointed,
Got it.
upward moon sky.
Mooning. Got
Yeah,
it.
mooning.
Yeah. Yeah. Love it.
Yeah, I got to be able to get out of there.
Right. Yeah.
It
No,
gets too crazy.
I was on the phone with a bunch of people in here, Luke and a few other people here yesterday. And
Mm-hmm.
I was texting with Sean a couple of times yesterday.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Luke was in here.
Yeah, Luke and gosh, too many people to name. I'm not going to even try and name. I think I made like 6 calls yesterday, something like that. Andy, I don't see him in here. Stump Jumper, I don't see him in there today.
Let's throw this out to the crew. Would you rather have 10 Quant or 1,000 XRP?
10 Quant.
Really?
Well, okay. First of all, does that mean I like now or
Now?
in total?
Now.
What do you mean?
Now is how I was thinking about it, but let's say total.
Oh, total. Like you can only have one or the other?
Yeah, if you could just be gifted one or the other right now.
I'd probably rather have the XRP. But because of the XRP wallet I have, I'd rather have the 10 Quant.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 10 Quant.
And then in terms of buying it, I mean, Quant's a little spendy, but that's right, all balanced in how many there are, right? So
yeah.
So do we have more time on Quant, catching up versus like XRP ballooning faster in terms of like value and trade value immediately? So it made me think of.
Yeah.
Great question. That was a great question.
There's a concept that I talk about a lot, and I think this is a big one, and it's really important. I think what a lot of us do is we don't set enough dry powder on the side. In other words, it's going to take me a minute to explain this. What you and I do is we're trying to pick the winner of a horse race out of 1,000 horses in a corral.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what we're doing. Right. And what we really need to do is not do that. What we need to do is save our bet and our wagers on the side to see at least which 10 horses get in the starting gate.
Right.
And then you say, oh, well, then I don't get to pay only pennies for a coin like XRP. Well, that's okay, because you can wait until the chosen coins are chosen. Bitcoin's pretty much already been chosen for its storage of wealth. Okay, we know that. What I'm talking about here is, should I spend money on Cardano today or XRP? You're trying to get that go from $50 to $5 money. I get it. I understand that. But the smart play is to sit back with a couple of grand and sit back and go, okay, they chose XRP is the banking coin. Boom. It's been crowned. Now you say, well, that's going to be too late. It'll already be at $5 now. And I could have made $400 or $4.50 per coin. Except for one thing. It's the winner. It's going to win the race. It's either win, place, or show.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So you can sit back and go, well, hey, they're on the back stretch. Even though the horse race has already started and the other 7 horses, broke a leg, God forbid, and the last 3 horses, nobody else is watching the horse race but you and I. Mm-hmm. See what I'm trying to say? Like, even when XRP gets to be $5, that's when you know that thing won the race. When all the SEC finally does what we know it's doing, the only thing it's trying to do is trying to keep it from blowing up fast. Number one, they know it's going to blow up. It's not it. It's not if, it's when. So when that finish line gets really close, you're going to have the opportunity to buy a ton of it in $2 and $3 and $5. And that coin might be Cardano, might not be XRP to that level. You understand where I'm going with that?
Yeah.
And all of us are trying to pick a winner out of 100 horses in a corral. And it's like, wait a minute, man. Yeah. Frankie, exactly. Win, place, or show, Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP. Right. You're in the money.
Right. Yeah.
But there's nothing that tells me that what if Solana's the coin or whatever? I don't know. I don't think Solana's the coin. I really don't. But what if it's, XDC or Quant or, any of the other ISO coins or XLM for that matter? What if, nobody likes the politics of the fact that Davos and, these people are too connected, or people at the top decide, no, XRP would really work really well, but we're not going to go that route. We're going to go XLM. My point is, you're still going to be in so early because you know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to see that. You're going to get the fundamental news that, hey, they picked the winner and we know what it is. You're going to get in before 99% of the rest of the people in the world, because you're going to know, oh, you didn't hear? They already picked the winner. What is it? By the time they find out, you're already buying, even if you think $5 for a coin is a ridiculous price because you knew the horse when it was in the corral, when it was just sitting there. I didn't mean to beat a dead horse on that one, but you get the point.
Since we're talking about horses, Mo asked us, Dad, what we thought about Polkadot and internet computer. I haven't really looked at either since they're like Genesis, to be honest. I really like projects like Polkadot, who you're gonna have to build blockchains that are bridges to bridge other blockchains together, and you're going to need to do that. You have to do that because different countries and different regions and different areas, as we know about the world, they're all going to adopt and use different things, kind of like what you were saying about the horses and the timing and the pricing of it and the utility of it. And okay, if we use this one for our country, this is going to work really, really great. So it's why I've been bullish on projects like DOT. ICP, I still know so little about. I wouldn't even want to comment.
ITP could clearly win this race. It's how I feel about Quant. Mm-hmm. Quant and ITP is the two projects that I look at and I say, I don't own enough of either one of those. I like ITP better than Polkadot. And I love Polkadot. I understand what Polkadot's trying to do. They're trying to make everybody interoperable. I get that. I like that. But there's like everybody's going to be that. Mm-hmm. That's just going to be built with it. You're not going to make a project. Oh, well, you can't. We don't communicate with you.
Right.
Somebody's going to do that. Yeah. Right. Everybody's doing that now. And that was really their niche, if you will. That and their speed.
Another thing I love about that XRP ledger is, we're seeing that all be built into it to where I can use this or that. And that trend is going to take off. I totally agree with you on that, Dad. It's going to be built in. Yeah. ICP.
I really, when I started figuring ITP out, I was like, oh my God, what are they doing over there? And I had no idea what it was. I thought it was the dumbest name ever. I just did. I was like, what are you guys? What are you
Which one
guys
are you
doing?
talking about, Dad? Are you talking about internet computer? Or are you talking about?
Oh yeah, no, I was talking about internet computers. Sorry,
I love
I
Joanna
thought
looked up like apparently ITP is
no,
interport
not
token.
no, not that token. Sorry. Uh,
there's there's another horsey.
yeah, right. There's another horse. That's my point. We don't know until we know.
That's right.
Okay, crawfish. What do I think is going to come out of the BRICS meeting? Nothing. That's what always comes out of the BRICS meeting. Every time I look into it, I don't learn anything. I just learn what everybody speculates on. And the speculation is that they're going to try and make sound money. Then I make sound money. I'm sorry. Sound money is not coming anytime soon. How do I know that? Because China would go back into the Stone Ages immediately. They would go from an industrial corporation that they currently are. Everyone thinks their countries are countries. They're corporations. United States is a corporation. It's run like one. And the only thing, yeah, okay, just put it this way. The US runs everything about the country runs like a corporation, right? Only the people of the country don't have any stock in that corporation, do we? We don't own any value of Washington, D.C. or any part of our government. We don't have a stake in that game. The only stake you and I have in it is that we get to donate our children to fight for the country, corporation, and fight with other countries' kids who are members of a corporation in which you don't have any ownership in. So we all get to die for their corporation. I know we get to wave a flag around and say, oh, well, I'm a patriot. Okay, I get that. But there's no financial skin in the game for you, number one. And you can say, well, it's bigger than that now. It's bigger than money. Well, not to them. Clearly
Right.
not to them, right?
Right.
It's a profit thing at the top.
Mm-hmm.
So what is going to happen in BRICS? More chatter. The only country that can afford to even possibly consider going to sound money in the whole world right now is maybe, I was looking at it about a month ago, El Salvador here pretty quick. Nobody is the answer to that. Maybe Saudi Arabia, UAE. I don't know. I don't know. Nobody, everybody has to borrow money from the central banking system. And I know the BRICS aren't doing that, but they're borrowing money from each other. Where is the yuan coming from that they're borrowing and lending? Thin air.
Yeah.
Every time you and I spend a dime, that dime gets created. Most people don't get that. When you understand that this entire thing is a Ponzi scheme, it's absolute. Fiat money is a Ponzi scheme. And when you stop the Ponzi, any Ponzi, what happens? It collapses. And people go to jail or die or poverty for many years to come. And why would the BRICS nations put themselves into poverty? Why would China can't? China can't go into poverty. They just took 700 million people out of the farming community and made, well, you know what they made out of them. They made people on a rat wheel just like the rest of us is what they did. They put them in debt, all of them. Yeah, more debt, more money. That's what's coming.
I love
Again, I'm wrong a lot. So I don't know. My 2 cents.
We were discussing earlier too before the chat. The whole the whole good and the bad, and the whole this side or that side. Why Alan and I aren't the guys to come on here and to just bitch to you about, church and state and all those things. It's and Sean kind of sort of asked me this question. This is my answer to it. Is together we're really, really strong, really strong. There's no force on this planet or in this universe that I think is stronger than people together. I just don't. And I think it's even stronger when you can let all the judgments and all the walls down and you're living in it with everything together. Is any idea, is any regime, is any group, is any Ponzi scheme ever going to be able to stand up to that long term? I don't think so.
No.
It's why I believe in people and in the goodness of us, and why I'd rather talk to you about hope.
Yeah.
Because that I know hope floats. I know it floats. I know it's buoyant.
Yeah.
It's fun. And I want fun for people. And when people start having fun again with whatever they're doing, whether it's financial or, whatever it is, we're powerful together.
There's nothing worth losing your children over.
Nope.
Nothing. I'm sorry.
No amount of money.
No. Or control or power. Those people are into control and power. You and I are just trying to have a good time here. It's not a good time losing your son to a bullet in some foreign country, or in your own country for that matter. Worse yet, in your own country. Doesn't make any sense. And thank you for speaking out, Frankie. I appreciate you saying exactly that. He's a veteran, and a lot of veterans don't feel that way. But I mean, I grew up in the military family.
Mm-hmm.
I tell people that when I was a kid, I used to have to bounce quarters off my bed. Like, now my father was a war horse. That's what he believed in, all that World War II and thankfully I never really bought in. And anyway, I don't want to get into it too deeply.
My dad talked me out of joining when I was 19. And it's and you know what, I'll never forget what you said, Dad. You know what stuck with me?
I don't remember what I said.
So true. You guys know me enough. He's like, Brent, you are no killer.
Yeah.
I just don't see it for you, man. I just don't see you doing it. And I was like, that's a really good point, man. That is a really good point.
Yeah, it's like, you
got to be what you are in this world, that ain't me.
Son, have you seen the movie Full Metal Jacket? Does that look like fun to you?
No.
Yeah, that's for real men, or what were once real men.
You're right.
I think
the war horses, or the people that would trade human life for money.
Yeah,
like they're playing a game of Risk for Monopoly money. It's just a joke.
Yeah,
so bad.
I'm really at the point now where I'd like us to come to a intelligent communication skill level with all nations of the world, so that nobody has to die. Why would I know I say this all the time, but it bears repeat. You and I are not able to settle our differences with a gun, with a shopkeeper. They incarcerate us the rest of our lives. Yet our governments are allowed to do so. They're able to settle their differences with a bullet. Why do we allow that? They don't allow us to do that.
Right.
Isn't that just a little strange to anybody? Yeah. Yeah.
Very strange.
Yeah. That's yeah. Sad.
Yeah.
Sad all
Cheers,
that.
cheers to you, Rob. XRP 007.
Got that right. What a
Love
cool
it.
name that one is. Guys,
Uh,
I gotta get rolling. I've been in this seat all day yesterday, and now I'm in it for an hour and a half. Almost coming up on 2 hours now. I'm
yep.
getting antsy and I'm starving.
Yeah. Let's all go on with our days.
I want to
Do
say
it.
a couple things.
Do it.
Please join me on Thursday nights. I know most of you who are in here do. Even if you're out of country, I'm working on it. Okay. I have that show is really blowing up, and the chat just flies by. It's just crazy. I'm going to try and get to your questions this week because April's not on this week. She's on the following week, and it's going to possibly merge a little bit of the IBC show going forward. I have some kind of bad news for everybody here. Simon, at least for the next few months, is not going to be on the Tuesday night show. So therefore, I think I'm going to be shutting down the IBC show. He got fired because he's irresponsible and he can't be trusted. And he's not very talkative. So,
He's just
I
not a
had to.
very cheery guy, you know. I
It's
just
just
got
nothing
tired of
about the
working with
guy
him.
that's, yeah, I can't think of anything positive to say about the man. But love you, brother. He's
I love you, Simon.
I just don't have a show without Simon about IBC, man. It's his passion, it's his
Oh
love, it's
yeah.
his, yeah, it's his whole
I'm
thing.
not the guy. I'm not the guy to jump in there. Simon is a wizard.
Yeah,
He's a wizard.
yeah, yeah. So we're going to be doing Thursday nights. I'm going to add IBC into the Thursdays just a little bit because I think they're a perfect power play together. So those of you who are into IBC and not really thinking about getting a trust, cool, no problem. Show up Thursday and you might learn a little bit about both. That's kind of the only news bulletin I have. This Tuesday I will be doing a show, but I think it might be like the final show. But I have a real treat for you on Thursday night. So I think you guys are going to enjoy that. Or sorry, Tuesday night with the IBC show. Thursday night, it's just going to be all about you and I doing our thing together. Yeah. Yes. No nihilism. Yeah. Yeah.
We are nihilists. We believe in nothing.
That's it.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I can't wait to meet
What,
you too, Rob. Lisa, we
that,
feel you in here, girl.
what was the line in oh that must be exhausting.
Mm,
What movie's that from?
I don't know. I
He's
always drop.
floating in a pool
That must be exciting.
and
What are you talking about?
and Bunny says, "Oh, he's a nihilist." And he
Oh,
says, "Oh, that must be exhausting."
oh yeah.
Yeah, he's
Somebody should just
passed
come
out.
on here one Sunday and be like, "Where's the money, Lebowski?
Yeah,
Win Moon, Lebowski."
man, I've never known you not to get a movie quote,
Yeah, well, I
especially a
just forgot that
Lebowski.
one scene in that movie. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Every scene in that film is great.
Oh, yeah, it's all good. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah. Simon will be back. He's just got to get back to work, doing his thing. It's just the timing doesn't work for us. So we'll be back.
Cody, I love you, man. You and Jess made my whole week, dude. You made my whole week. Cody's wife, Jess, you can find her on Jessie Retro. She does readings, and she is so positive and encouraging and fun that I'm trying to watch her live shows now, which I believe are Sundays or Wednesday nights. Very, very fun. And just those two just exude positivity to me, and that's a lot of what I want to create in the future.
Yep.
Amongst all of us.
I had a reading from Jess, and she just nailed me.
Yeah.
Nailed it. Yeah. It's
I
really
took
good.
notes, and I was like reading in books, like breaking it down, and I was like, I needed this. I just needed it.
Yeah.
So very cool if you're into that stuff. We'll get you out
Okay,
of the
guys.
seat. We'll get you all to your barbecues. I ain't got nothing but love for y'all.
What his Jesse's YouTube site? Do you
Jesse
remember, Brent?
Retro. It's JESSIE Retro, I believe. Cody, correct
Jesse
that.
Retro. Yeah, that sounds right.
She's awesome.
Yeah,
You're
she
awesome.
is. We're
You're
all awesome. That's what we do around here is awesome. All right, guys, we'll see you next week.
See you next week, crew.
Same bat channel.
Here we go. Oh, awkward sign.